we have breaking news that Marcus Peters has been released by the Raiders, and Mike and I, just a couple months ago, were talking about how this was a great signing for the Raiders, and now we kind of have to, eat our words. But at the time, it really seemed like he was going to be a veteran that was really able to contribute to the secondary. And really, he had at least one interception where he made a great play where he's, jumping a route, and, he takes gambles as a player. And, uh, a lot of times earlier on in his career, it would work out for him. But, you know, he's kind of aging a little bit, and he's not as quick as he used to be. So I don't know, Mike, you tell me how you feel about this move.
Well, to add to that, I'm not really gonna even eat my words. Like my feeling on him kind of soured relatively quickly. Um, Probably along the lines of with Jimmy Garoppolo and Josh McDaniels, but because he was on the defensive side, it felt like, oh, it's not quite the same, which it
Mm.
isn't. But it all it, some of the tweets I was reading, it almost sounds like he was loyal to Josh McDaniels and he's just trying to sabotage the defense. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Um, no, but
the
there
one
was one
player
tweet.
that's loyal to Josh McDaniels.
Right. Okay, this is from John Ledyard at Ledyard NFL Draft. I'm assuming he was watching film on the Raiders the past couple weeks, and he says Peters was doing whatever he wanted on the tape this week. Oh, maybe whether it was against the Chiefs or the Dolphins. I'm not sure which because I don't even know how much he played against the Chiefs. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
um, call didn't matter. Just ran wherever he felt like on the field. Dude is too funny. So if this guy knows what he's talking about and he knows coverages and he knows that Peters is not following the coverage and just going wherever the fuck he wants on the field, come on, right? Like that's not even being a team player. That's just you trying to do whatever you want to do. Like, come on. Um, I I sent you a tweet by the way, but we'll watch it in a second. I had been noticing for weeks now that he would not give his all in an attempt to make a tackle most of the time. Um, and even his like he was very soft in coverage. And I think really, honestly, I think he was just trying to get interceptions. He wasn't trying to get tackles. He wasn't trying to get like he wasn't trying to stop receivers. He was just trying to get picks, I think. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what it almost looks like. Cuz to be that soft in coverage is like he's almost trying to bait the quarterback into throwing it and like, "Oh, I might have a shot here." But I had also heard like reports mid-season or early on in the season like he was dealing with a back injury. So I just kind of took that as a good excuse cuz back injuries are not fun. But there comes a point where it's like, well, you're still a pro and you're getting paid pretty well. Um, so it's either don't play and let guys like Jacorian Bennett play, who was inactive against the Chiefs, or uh, get cut, right? Or
Who's
play harder.
airdropping stuff to you?
No, no, it's not an airdrop. That's my text message alert.
Ah,
That's the group chat. That's Tyler going off. But
um,
I sent you that video if you can play it right now. It's the second one
yeah,
there.
I've got it right up and ready by Logan Reaver.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says Marcus Peters was standing alone at the 50 during the drive. Stayed there while the rest of the defense met on the bench after giving up that score. Peters and Antonio Pierce dapped each other up before halftime, but it looks like there was some disagreement in the conversation. Hashtag Raiders. Okay, so this is Marcus Peters right here.
Yeah, and the beanie.
Okay.
So I mean, Like the entire defense met on the bench after giving up a score. Probably talking about whatever,
Hmm.
trying to recoup, and he wasn't a part of it.
Now,
Like
is this the
very
defense on the field right now?
no, that's probably special teams getting ready to kick off. Like I see Amik Robertson sitting on the bench, Robert Spillane, Divine Diablo. So they probably had already done the group meeting or whatever you want to call it immediately after
Hmm.
the score, and Peters just wasn't a part of it. This is like after the fact, and it looks like Antonio Pierce confronting him about it.
Hmm. Kind of unrelated, but you know what I don't understand about this clip at all?
Hmm.
So this is special teams right here. What is Jimmy Garoppolo doing coming off the field?
Probably
What
talking to somebody.
what business did he have? You know what I mean? Like, all right, guys, you go out and get him. You know?
He's just going through his you know 2 o'clock stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. But going back to Marcus Peters, um, yeah, I think I sent you something last night that it was like a report that he was going to be very likely released either last night or today, and the news broke today, right? That he was being released. So,
Yeah, and within 5 minutes of that, it was also announced that Roderick Teamer was also getting released. The special teams backup safety. He was just coming off of IR, just getting activated like this week. He was going to play this past Sunday against the Chiefs, and the morning of the game, he got a DUI cut.
mhm. So let's
And
see.
he was a solid special teamer, and at times, like especially in the preseason, but even last year in the regular season, he would get on the field at safety at times when called upon and like make solid plays. Like it's just a little boneheaded to go out there and catch a DUI right before game day. It's like I don't know. I'm not in their lifestyle or anything as far as being a pro football player, but I feel like you can afford to call a ride or call a teammate, right?
How do
Like
you spell Roderick Teamer? I'm trying to look for it because I did see that earlier today
it should
on
be
Twitter.
Rod Erick Teamer Team ER. But
Okay,
more of the story: don't drink and drive. It's not worth it.
I I don't understand, you know, because this is a much bigger issue. Henry Ruggs has gotten in trouble for it. Marshawn Lynch, even though he wasn't on the Raiders, he got arrested for a DUI, I believe, in Vegas. Um, this player got a DUI. Josh Jacobs got a DUI in Vegas. You
I
move a
want to say
football
Josh
team to
Jacobs.
Vegas, huh?
Sorry, I want to say Josh Jacobs crashed his car.
Oh, you didn't get a DUI, but he.
I think he got a DUI too, but he also because he has a scar on his forehead
Mhm.
from the car crash.
You move a team to Vegas, they're gonna, you know, like the players, they're human. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna they're gonna do things that are Vegas actions, and unfortunately, things can't always. Whatever happens in Vegas, if it's you know, by law and you're a high profile person, it's gonna come out. TMZ is gonna get a hold of it. Everybody's gonna get a hold of it. And unfortunately for Roderick Teamer, it cost him his job right now. And you know, luckily, it doesn't seem like anybody's gotten hurt, you know, based on any reports. But you know, it's definitely, I would not advise anybody to drink and drive.
Yeah, um, yeah. I mean the Vegas thing. I'm sure it is an aspect, and it certainly lends itself a great ability for players to go out and have fun and get drunk and make mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's up to those players, right? And I think these teams try to implement, like, for lack of a better term, support systems, not like because they need it, but more of like, hey, um, this lifestyle is pretty crazy and you need to protect yourself or whatever it may be, right? And I mean, I've kind of always believed the I've always had the mindset that whether it's Vegas or it could be Miami or it could be New York or it could be San Francisco or Los Angeles, like all of those cities present itself the ability to do these things. Houston, Dallas, um, but I get it for Vegas with the strip. But I think at the end of the day, it's the players, and maybe the Raiders are just cursed. But I'll admit, being in Vegas doesn't help. But I don't know. I maybe the Raiders organization needs to do a better job of implementing systems and really making sure that their players know, like, hey, if you're drunk, call
Call
us.
someone.
Yeah.
There's
So
plenty of people to call.
yeah.
But maybe they're all drunk too. And it's just a matter of, who's going to be driving tonight and who's going to get
Yeah.
caught. So, I mean, no, that's
Yeah.
a terrible joke. But really, it's a very unfortunate pattern to notice about the Raiders because they've over time they've had players getting in and out of trouble, coaches. It's a very unfortunate pattern, but I can't help but notice DUIs specifically. They are more. I think I just noticed them more. They've been more apparent in Vegas. So, but the Raiders aren't the only team that deals with DUIs. Like just a couple weeks ago, Chris Olave got a DUI, didn't he?
Yeah, the Saints have been having a few things go on, and then a crazy one that like really went under the radar was Zay Jones, former Raider receiver, now with the Jaguars. He's been on IR, if not on IR, out for like the past 6 weeks or something. He got hit with a what do you call that? At home violence,
Oh, domestic violence?
domestic violence. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, he got hit with one of those, and I was like, oh man, if he were on the Raiders, he'd be cut like this morning. But
Mm-hmm.
it came and went. So okay,
Now, what do most of these players have in common? I've said it before in the group chat.
listen, Josh, you don't need to make this about race.
Got him. We fucking got him.
What? No. no. No.
I'm
No.
kidding. I know what you're gonna
Jesus
say.
Christ. Jesus
Yeah, no,
Christ. No.
it's a bad
What do
joke.
all
I'm
these
kidding.
Yeah, we already
Say
lost
it.
like a million
Just say
viewers.
it.
No, it's over.
Yeah,
No. They were all teammates with Derek Carr.
yeah.
Well, most of them were. Jeez. Way to throw me under the bus. I wasn't even like thinking that. I promise you I had like no intention, but hearing it back, I'm like, oh my God. That was that sounds like something that someone would say. So
Yeah, I was just busting your balls. I knew where you were going with it. You've said it like a couple times in group chat, and it's like it is weird. Like
Carr goes to New
maybe
Orleans and now all these issues are going on with those guys. So
yeah, but then also his former receivers, Zay Jones, and then back when he was with the Raiders, Antonio Brown, Henry Ruggs. The list goes on. It's like
could it be that Derek Carr is so devoted to his faith that everyone is just sick and tired of it? And they're like, man, I'm never going to be that devoted. And then they just like, in order to compensate for the amount of like, religious sort of uh, spirituality that Derek Carr, just his aura, they just try to combat it to be as, like do as many sins as possible. Like, I don't know.
the thought process just Derek will pray for me.
Because it's like it's like, isn't it a thing when you have very strict parents or something? Not that Derek Carr is a father figure to any of these people. That's ridiculous. But if you have strict parents, you're more likely to want freedom in the future. Like,
Or
you're
to
more
lash
likely
out.
to act out, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird trend that I honestly doubt actually has any correlation with Derek Carr.
It does. It,
But
it really doesn't. It doesn't have
yeah.
any correlation with Derek Carr. I just
But
noticed the
it's
coincidence, and it's like
yeah,
kind of funny to throw up. Like, this is all Derek Carr's fault.
yeah. Let's
It's
just
like,
blame him.
another former Derek Carr teammate. It's just the strangest coincidence. So let's just blame it on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Marcus Peters actually wasn't teammates with Derek Carr, but he didn't get into a DUI. So he
True.
just straight up got cut or waived, I guess is the proper term.
But Roderick Teamer was his teammate.
Yeah. This wasn't his first season with the Raiders, right? Teamer?
No, this is like his third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those 2 years with Derek Carr were the worst of his life, and now he's acting out.